If you were on NBA Twitter last night, you would have saw that Kyrie Irving's name was trending last night for a very weird claim that was made by Nick, right? And I'm not exactly sure how true this is, but this is definitely something that I want to look into. Of course, before I get into the content, guys, could leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you need to turn on post notifications. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, and your subscription would be greatly appreciated. Let's get into the video. Now, last night around 10 in the morning, I didn't even see this, and it didn't really go mainstream until later on the day, but Nick Wright posted a tweet saying the following: there are a handful of Kyrie Irving trades that potentially make sense for the Nets. Kyrie's agents have made it known that Kyrie would simply retire from the NBA if the Brooklyn Nets were to trade him. Now, I'm not gonna lie, for a second it did throw me out, but then I did realize, like, Kyrie Irving is the type of player, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of people would also think this, that if someone was going to retire from the NBA that was a superstar that retired like a lot earlier than they really should have been, it was going to be a guy like Kyrie Irving. And I mean, that's not a hate on Kyrie Irving or anything. I love Kyrie Irving, but I'm just saying in general, I feel like that's something that would happen in his career. And I mean, throughout my NBA knowledge, I've seen a lot of these things, like where people say, oh, this player is going to get traded, this player is going to retire, and then NBA players just never respond up because it's a stupid claim. But Kyrie Irving actually did respond to the exact tweet saying a puppet with a gif of a puppet. And then not too long after, Nick Wright responded with, Kyrie, if you're saying you didn't say you'd retire if you were traded, then your beef is with your representation, not me, because you and I both know that's what your people have told me. Now, I'd like to keep in mind in this video that I am someone who does not like Nick Wright. He's never really done anything to me. I've just never personally have liked him. However, though, if Nick Wright is telling the truth and someone from Kyrie's, I guess, team or representation said that yes, that would happen, then I don't blame Nick Wright for putting this out. But if Kyrie Irving did not tell him that and it's a complete lie, or they took something that Kyrie said and twisted his words, then yeah, I completely agree with Kyrie. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this for the first time, I was like, Kyrie Irving's not getting traded. Like, there's no way, this isn't possible. And then I started thinking like, oh, maybe it's like a what if, or like one of those weird things like, oh, what if Steph Curry went to the Knicks? Like, it's not gonna happen. And I mean, I was still like debating making a video on it. I was gonna sleep on it and decide, but apparently these rumors for Kyrie Irving getting traded are actually a lot more popular than I thought. A trade that I think is completely BS, but is still in the talks right now, and not actually in talks with NBA people. I'm saying, like, a lot of people are saying that this could happen, is basically Ben Simmons for Kyrie Irving, which I mean, hell no. Now, I do remember that the Brooklyn GM, and I made a video about this, Sean Marks, did say that he was basically going to do everything he could to re-sign his big three in Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, and he hasn't signed all of them yet. I believe he did re-sign Kevin Durant. I think that's the only one so far. And I mean, I'm not sure anyone's talking about this, but Sean Marks, and I said in the video, said he would be signed before training camp, and the only person that's been signed obviously was Kevin Durant, not guys like Kyrie Irving and James Harden. And I'm pretty sure that if Kyrie Irving did get traded for something like a Ben Simmons situation, that James Harden would easily be like, okay, no, I'm not re-signing with this team, and Kevin Durant would be stuck in Brooklyn. Like, are you kidding me? And I don't know how this is actually a storyline, but a lot of people are trying to run away with this, like Kyrie Irving and a Ben Simmons trade would actually make sense. No, it would not make sense. Yes, Philadelphia could use a player like Kyrie Irving that would definitely fit their criteria, but Ben Simmons to the Nets makes absolutely no sense. Damn, I just rhymed that. Can I get a like for my Slim Shady impersonation? Now, I have waited to find a source, and I've been looking for this for hours. Even when I was in school or when I was chilling eating breakfast, I could not find a source that basically said like Kyrie Irving was in complete denial of this, or saying like that's not exactly true. He hasn't officially said no, that is not true. And this one article by Complex said Kyrie Irving has addressed like the rumor, blah blah blah. It's not true. It's literally just the situation I was talking about earlier with him and Nick Wright. I mean, there is another narrative that they're trying to push with this Kyrie Irving thing. I'll get back to the situation a little bit because I'm gonna be talking about it. But personally, I don't think Kyrie Irving's gonna get traded anytime soon. It would just make no sense. I mean, the only reason that they really did lose last year to the Bucks is you could say either A, the Bucks did outmatch them, and I mean that is very true, but also both Kyrie Irving and James Harden were out for a big majority of the series. And yes, Harden came back, I believe, in game 6 or 7, but not to measure, he was not at all the same with what he was. In fact, I completely forgot that James Harden even played in those games until I started doing some research. Now, before I end, I guess, this part of this video, I'm just gonna say Kyrie Irving's not getting traded anytime soon. Yeah, it would make sense for some teams and for some situations it would make sense on paper, but he's not gonna get traded. And if he did, I will say I think Kevin Durant will definitely like try to leave that team as soon as possible. James Harden won't return, and that whole bench is gonna probably be left for itself. Now, I wasn't gonna make this a part of the video until I found out how actually big of a deal this was, but Kyrie Irving yesterday posted a tweet saying, my mask is off, period, now take yours off, period, no fear. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, he's not talking about the pandemic, obviously, with the masks and stuff, because I don't think Kyrie Irving is that stupid. It probably means something a lot more deeper than that. And even if Kyrie Irving was that type of person, like inside that, like, oh, is against masks and all that stuff and saying the pandemic isn't real, I still don't think he would at least post about it. Then Kyrie Irving right after that did clarify, saying mask off means you stop being someone you're you're not and stop lying to yourself. It's the moment you discover the real you and can walk around with no fear in society that shows a lot of the masks people wear to hide who they truly are, which I mean, that makes a lot of sense actually. And yeah, just like Twitter does, Twitter went crazy about Kyrie Irving saying all these things, and he had to clarify later on like, hey, this is actually what happened, blah 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 blah. I just think that Kyrie Irving is a very interesting situation as a person in general, and a lot of people think he's like, I guess, a controversial person, which you can definitely make the argument for that. But like I said in this whole video, I don't think Kyrie Irving's gonna like have anything happen to him. I don't think he's gonna retire or anything like that. And I mean, if Kyrie Irving does end up getting traded, yeah, I genuinely think he's gonna retire. I don't think he's lying about that. But then in a sense, it also would hurt his trade value, because if you hear that if he gets traded to a team that he's gonna retire, then why would you even trade for him? Like, you're literally getting nothing back besides, unless they traded for like another role player, like let's say like Joe Harris. I know the comment section is about to eviscerate me for saying Joe Harris is a role player. He was just the first person I thought of when I was thinking about bench players on the Nets. God damn. In other NBA news, I guess there's a rumor going on that the NBA should possibly implement a Field of Dreams game, which if you guys don't know, in baseball, basically I think like a month or two ago they did a thing called the Field of Dreams, where they played on like an old, like I think an old baseball field, like back from like the 1900s or something like that. I don't know, it was a cool idea. And I mean, I'm a Yankees fan, so I kind of looked a little bit at the game, but they're saying that maybe they should do it for the NBA, I guess, where they would like play with like at an old gym with an old ball and I mean peach baskets. I mean, I don't know if they would actually do that. I mean, if the game's gonna count, it could definitely trigger some people, because that game could like be a deciding factor later on in the year, but still. And we actually do have one more story to tell you guys. So it says the NBA has been discussing a mid-season tournament with a $1 million prize per player. So I'm thinking it's like teams. I'm not exactly sure how many it would exactly be, if it's like a 4-team or like whatever. Now if they're gonna do this for teams that are not doing anything, like let's say a team like the Kings and they're like top 4 and the worst teams in the NBA, I mean, a nice little compensation would be nice, but it's not gonna do anything. Now my honest to God opinion, if they were gonna do like a tournament for like certain teams and a little bit of a compensation, I say, and I saw this in a Jimmy High Roller video like years ago, where they should do the 8 worst teams in the NBA and they should play a tournament, and the player that does, or the team that does the best, will get the #1 pick obviously, and then the team that was like, I guess, made the championship and that came in second and lost in that game would get the second. You guys know how it would work, because tanking would be completely irrelevant in that situation, because I guess you're tanking for, I guess, like standings or where you would play in the tournament. But I mean, the 8 worst teams are the 8 worst teams. It would probably vary, but I don't think seeding would matter, and it would definitely make for some very interesting moments, let's just say that. Now with that being said, that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn on the post notifications. Let me know what you guys have been thinking about the content lately. I've been trying to improve the quality and all that stuff. With that being said, leave a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day. Take care. Peace. If you have made it to the end of the video, here are 2 videos on the screen that I think you guys will really enjoy. Anyways, cue the outro.